Okay, people, so the controversy surrounding Dragon Ball Super Chapter 73. Now, a lot of people have been a bit upset. For the most part, Goku fans, though, have been pretty peeved regarding the latest bout that Goku has had with the Cerialian Granolah. Crazy Cerialian. Goku versus Granolah has seemingly wrapped up in Chapter 73, and Goku fans are upset. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to continue to be this way, because a lot of people are saying, well, yo, Vegeta fans go through it too. And here's why it's constantly going to be this outrage at the very least if they continue this formula as well of people being upset when there's a loss. Because it's been set up at this particular point and they've been so far removed from being in the same stratosphere as anybody else, and I'm referring to Goku and Vegeta. The fact that they have pinpointed it down to it's just Goku and Vegeta, the same thing that we saw in the Moro arc where it was Goku and Vegeta and they got their asses handed to them time and time again. What was it, 3 or 4 different times that they fought Moro and got their asses kicked? And the problem that people had was it's just Goku or Vegeta that are going to take the L. So it's going to be either one of them start the fight, they take a L, the other one jumps in, and then the plot continues to move forward. People are going to continue to get pissed off because at the end of the day, Dragon Ball has kind of, with Super, written itself into a corner where it's like, hey, we need other people that are going to be on the allied side to be strong. We can't just continue to fight with these two constantly because it's going to be stale. Unless they get a little bit more creative with it on how they approach things, it's going to continue to be either Goku goes up first and gets knocked out, or Vegeta goes first and gets knocked out, or they got to do something else. Like if they would have just done something like, and at this point, believe me, trust me, I'm not holding my breath on this, but if they would have had Gohan had some sort of power up where maybe it's a short-lived one or temporary, like the shards of God energy or something like that, to be able to have him be a third wheel, then it could be a little bit different. Or hell, dare I say it, considering this is a whole Revenge Against the Saiyans plot, how about Broly, I don't know, have Broly be a little bit more involved in things. That would have shaken things up as well. But yeah, people, we got a lot to talk about with Goku versus Granolah, the outrage, Vegeta, the mystery unraveling of what's going on here, and in general, this pretty interesting fight to say the least. Without further ado, let's talk a little bit of that Dragon Ball Super.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so the fight continues from where it left off with Goku versus Granolah, and I ain't gonna lie, it was refreshing to see the scenery that they used in the beginning of the chapter where Goku and Granolah are going at it, because they started fighting and it led them into a forest, and there was, trickery used, and don't get me wrong, Goku is getting tricked quite often, but I like the way it was done. It wasn't a lethal blow or anything like that when the trickery was done, at the very least. In the forest, where, Granolah hides behind a tree and comes swinging using his scarf and hits Goku out of nowhere. Goku wasn't even expecting that, which Goku need to improve on certain things of getting tricked, but ultimately, I thought that was a really cool and dope thing to do, considering Dragon Ball fights have gotten to the point where we're galactic, we're fighting in Earth's atmosphere and space, we're fighting all over the place. So to take it to a forest, it feels like, holy shit, this is new territory that we haven't seen in the Dragon Ball franchise in a really long time. I mean, I don't know, maybe one of the movies? I can't even remember when the last time I seen them actually fighting in a forest. And watch somebody point out, actually, in this arc, I get it, alright, but I just don't remember, okay? It felt refreshing to me. And while they're going at it, at the very least, it looks like they're somewhat evenly matched. Goku is just using Super Saiyan Blue against Granolah, and Granolah's holding his own and Goku's holding his own. There's nobody that is like outpacing the other, at the very least, again in that one. And it's also kind of laughable for the one side, because we find out later on that Granolah's not really going at all the way in, so there's that. But at the very least, in that moment, they look like they're evenly matched, and again, Granolah's doing this thing, which he should be. He made a wish on the Dragon Balls to be the strongest in the universe. And I ain't gonna lie, with all the blows that are being traded, I mean, it's punch after punch, it's action-packed. Like a good chunk of this chapter, half or more, was just straight up Goku and Granolah throwing hands non-stop, and I feel like this was definitely more so meant for the anime. I've always said it, I'll say it again, Dragon Ball works just way better in anime form. It is, for the most part, glorified for its battles, and this right here is no exception, where I'm seeing all these punches. I'm like, this looks like great storyboards for a really high quality animated piece when the anime returns, and it's inevitable at this point. And the way it was even sequenced, it almost feels like this is going to be the storyboard for whenever they animate this shit, because it looked like that. It's a really high action-packed fight between Goku and Granolah, and it looked pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie, like the art looked pretty freaking dope, and every time they're swinging a punch and shit like that, I'm like, I like it. And then Goku uses combination of his Super Saiyan Blue with Ultra Instinct, so he starts using the technique of Ultra Instinct along with his Super Saiyan Blue, and he's able to start outmaneuvering Granolah. And I loved when, and it was reminiscent of Perfect Cell, the battle of Goku versus Perfect Cell, when he's able to outmaneuver outmaneuver him to the point of getting a point blank range Kamehameha. I was like, let's go, baby. That shit looked epic. And again, probably borrowing inspiration from that, but it was still different, especially the outcome of that, because this isn't all there is to Granolah by a long shot. And during the impact, you see that just like this whole force is getting messed up. One of the heaters goes flying. It's like, yeah, that Kamehameha did it in. But also, Granolah was able to outmaneuver Goku to a certain degree, because then we see that Goku's out on the floor. Granolah's kind of damaged, but Goku's the one that's kind of there laid out for a moment. And I'm like, yo, I'm not going to keep on repeating myself, but this is not Granolah fully, you know, his full power. Just imagine that. And yeah, he's getting clapped in certain instances. Again, there's a lot of evenly matched stuff, but instances like that is like, yeah, he's catching you, that sniper eye. And Granolah goes on a spiel of, no matter what form you take, fam, I'm always going to find an opening. Everything has openings, which also shows, like, if you look deeply into it, that the fact that Granolah skipped all of that wisdom that he would have obtained had he trained normally throughout his life to get to this particular point, he would know what Ultra Instinct is, and he would know that, yeah, there are no openings when it comes to Ultra Instinct. So him saying that there's always going to be an opening, that's, even though he has that immense power that he has, he doesn't have a lot of the actual natural training that goes along with it that'll teach you something about, like, hey, Ultra Instinct. So he might be this strong and fast dude, but he doesn't have the lessons that go behind it that kind of support you to be able to be that badass, strongest in the universe guy. And Goku kind of gives a little excuse on Ultra Instinct's part of like, it's not UI, fam, it's my lack of training, even though that's all I ever do with my life is train, but it's my lack of it. Yeah, that's right, Goku. Your lack of it. Hey. Or maybe it's just plots. No. And you could tell that Granolah, yet again, his quest for vengeance clouds his judgment, because he just starts screaming, I'm gonna make you motherfuckers go extinct, and starts making explosions come from the ground. And it's later referenced that was similar to something Moro did, and I'm kind of like, why are we revisiting ground that we just covered? That's something that this chapter, with that event and something that happens later on, the whole, you know, catching off guard or whatever you want to call it, that was kind of like, we just saw this last arc. If I want to see this type of stuff, I'll go to last arc. So I wasn't fond of them referencing like Moro. Like, it's a difference when they use inspiration from Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, because that was 100 billion years ago in the story. Moro was last arc. I was just talking about Moro in October or November, December, some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And Goku basically gets knocked back from that blast, and he falls to where Vegeta's at. And again, something that I said in my last Dragon Ball Super video from last month of, you know, chapter 72, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, this whole illusion, essentially, the setting of like, there's a city over here, but it looks different over there, is very reminiscent of Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, the original Broly film, of like, hey, how things were going, of secrecy, and, you know, there's a mystery afoot there, because Goku's kind of like confused, like, wait a minute, where the hell am I? Like, he tells Vegeta, yo, I need to go all out, bet, I gotta do what I gotta do, and then he's like, what's going on here? Which kind of like is the unraveling of the mystery that we already know what's up, but of course, you know, they don't. But at the very least, it started to move some plot threads out the way of like Coil and Maki, you know, they got him because Vegeta breaks it down. He becomes a narrator. He's like, the plot has been revealed, fam. Apparently, where this, you know, old race that used to live here, there were snipers, and basically they were wiped out by the Saiyans, and we've been had by Coil and Maki. Like, everything moved forward, which is good, because it's like, we've been knowing this, that this is all a ruse and a trick, so it's good for them to know it so we can move forward into the next set of whatever the story is about to do, because if not, we'll just keep on sitting here like, when are they gonna find out again? Like, we've known this for a while. And it feels like a little bit of Vegeta rubbed off on Goku. Maybe it was more so innocent, but when he tells Vegeta like, oh, okay, I just gotta beat him first, and then we'll be able to convince him that we're not bad guys anymore, like the Saiyans aren't bad guys and shit, I'm like, sounds a little cocky, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just gotta kick his ass and then we good? Like, oh, you think that's what's about to happen, huh? You think you're about to kick his ass. Think again, fam. So Goku decides to go into Ultra Instinct, and right there he starts outdoing Granolah. For a moment there, Granola's like, wait a minute, I can't detect any openings. Yeah, fam, we just went over this, you know, you didn't naturally train, you used a dragon, like, you skipped this lesson right here. But Goku makes a mistake that I honestly hate when they explain the plot via the actual characters, or explain the technique via the actual characters to their opponents. He's like, hey, yeah, this is the ultimate technique where there's no openings, but I have a time limit here, so I gotta do this quick. Oh, bet, like, you know, if I was a smart guy, I could just say, let me just outmaneuver you for a little bit, or even play possum and say whatever until your time runs out, and then boom, I done got you, fam. Like, I'm never a fan of when they do that shit, explain things like that. Like, that's some information you probably should keep to yourself. If this is your ultimate technique, your ultimate ability, and you can only use it for a limited time, why would you tell him, Goku? Like, Think, Goku, think. Somebody get the Omni-Man meme. Think. But for the time being, Goku starts to, he's making work of Granolah. He starts kicking him around. He kicks his sniper eye oatmeal off of him and shit like that. He's actually putting in work. So I'm like, okay, all right. And Granolah pretty much can't keep up with Goku at all anymore. And yeah. And it's kind of crazy because even though Granolah can't keep up with Goku anymore, he still won't hear of anything. Like, Goku's trying to tell him, like, yo, you sure we don't really got to do this? And Granolah's like, no. So that's kind of been etched in. And I like that it's still being a thing. Even though Granolah's getting his ass kicked, his hatred for Saiyans because of what they did to his people, or what he believes anyway, is so strong that he's like, you could be kicking my ass, it's still all fair. And at the end of the day, he's not really kicking his ass, so there's that. And I ain't gonna lie, I am a big fan of Goku when he goes into the Ultra Instinct, how he lifts Granolah and is swinging him around and busting his ass through the air like... I don't even know what to call it, but that shit is awesome, and he sends him flying, and I'm like, I like that shit out of everything with Ultra Instinct, because Ultra Instinct is basically like the ultimate evading technique, right? It's just like, I can evade everything you throw at me by like maneuvering around, and I'm very strong and shit like that. But when you add the fact that he's doing crazy shit like that, busting his ass without even touching him, I'm like, that right there, Goku, do more of that. But at the very least, the smart one, the detective that he's been throughout this arc, Vegeta notices, holy shit, wait a minute, all of this, he's getting sent into a boulder and shit by Kakarot. Why isn't his power dropping that much? What's going on here? And you would think Goku would sense that, right? Like, hey, he's right in front of you. Why isn't he dropping? What's going on here? But no, Vegeta figures it out. And I ain't gonna lie, I've never seen the film, but I've heard a lot about it, and maybe I'm off on this, but let me know if I'm off on the comparison that I'm about to make, because for some reason it kept ringing in my head what Granolah revealed. And honestly, it kind of reminds me of something I heard about one of the recent really bad Star Wars films with Luke Skywalker in particular, of the whole illusion. He sent an illusion from far away and shit like that, because Granolah reveals basically to Goku that I've been an illusion this entire time. I've been a clone. I used a little bit of my power, but yeah, the real me, you ain't been fighting him. So imagine what the real Granolah full powered would have been like. Just a crazy thought there, I know. But when that was revealed, I don't know, I just kept thinking about that. Really bad from what they say anyway. I've never seen it. One of the latest Star Wars films where, again, I think Luke was like sending a projection of himself and shit like that. I don't know, maybe I'm off on that comparison, but for some reason, that's what I got from Granolah. And I mean, it was alright, but it also, I guess, kind of really makes that wish actually did come to fruition, because if that was only a portion of Granolah's power, he gave Goku a lot of hell, aside from when he went Ultra Instinct. He gave him a lot of hell. Imagine full power Granolah. He'd be a monster. But the problem and the controversy that every Goku fan pretty much have been pissed off about is the fact that Granolah sneaks Goku and uses a pressure point hit to knock Goku out, essentially defeating Goku and winning the fight, which I want to say this is like the second or third time he was able to best Goku. This one is a little bit different because he snuck him, and that whole I'm the strongest in the universe doesn't make you really the strongest if you snuck somebody. That's like, you know what I'm saying, me going up to a pro boxer while he's at an event signing autographs and I get a lucky hit and I knock him out when he's not paying attention. That doesn't mean I'm the strongest in the world, the greatest boxer. That just makes me a bitch. Because basically Granolah was saving his strength for Frieza. He underestimated them to a certain degree, because if he was going all out, probably Ultra Instinct Goku still may have taken him out, just because Ultra Instinct is a whole other animal entirely. But yeah, I don't know how that fight would have gone down if it was full Granolah versus Ultra Instinct. But at the end of the day, Granolah's the one that's standing and Goku is not. And Vegeta comes in, and here's where it begins, because Vegeta jumps in. He's like, yo, leave Kakarot alone. He's not your fight anymore. Mind you, we only have one sense being left, so probably Goku's gonna need to take that here soon, because yeah, he looks like he's down bad or whatever. But Vegeta starts going in, talking that cocky talk, and I'm a veteran Vegeta fan. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm a veteran Vegeta fan. I know how this thing goes. I know how this ride goes, and if I'm proven wrong, by golly, I'll do a song and a dance the next time we talk. But Vegeta, he basically is talking that shit like, oh no, it's not gonna be the Saiyans that go extinct. It's gonna be the Cerialians. And the chapter ends off there with, you know, Vegeta talking that smack. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it was like, yo, you talking a little spicy. He's like, nah, how about you die with the rest of your tribe? And I'm like, okay, Vegeta. But again, we've been down this road before, okay? We know what this is about, because Vegeta is gonna go up against Granolah seemingly next chapter, unless the heaters step in, or Frieza, or dare I say it, Broly, anybody, hello. It's about to be Vegeta versus Granolah, and I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if Vegeta gets packed out. And it's gonna be really embarrassing, really embarrassing, if after all that smack Vegeta's talking there, you're gonna go extinct. If he gets packed out and gets his ass whipped and shit like that, this is gonna be humiliating. Like, Vegeta, please, Toyotaro, Toriyama, Toei, whoever, don't do Vegeta dirty. Come on, they're still the heaters. You could give Granolah the loss here, Vegeta the win here, and then the heaters come in. Please, please. But I have absolutely no faith in Vegeta winning because he was talking that shit, and usually that leads to the L. But overall, as a whole, this chapter of Dragon Ball Super, a lot of insanity went down. I'm very curious what you guys think. For starters, do you think that Granolah would have been able to go up against Goku if he was fully powered all together, like Ultra Instinct Goku, or how you think that would have went down? What do you think about the whole scenario of what I'm saying of like the fans rage when Goku takes the L, the fans rage when Vegeta takes the L? If we had another couple of characters that were equal to or somewhere in the ballpark of their strength, like again, I don't know, Broly, would that make it a little bit different? Maybe they could have, you know, the fight starts off with all three of them just jumping, dude, or some crazy shit, or again, or it would be different Broly starting off. Do you think that that would be the key to getting rid of the outrage that goes down in Dragon Ball Super? And your overall thoughts and expectations. Vegeta versus Granolah, you think Vegeta is going to get the W? It's going to be another loss? How do you expect all this thing to play out in Super 74 and beyond? I don't know, but yeah, I'm not going to keep my expectations high for Vegeta getting the W. We've been down this route, okay? But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links, of course, are in the description below. I'm from Neverworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.
And remember the golden rule.
Anime and manga.
One life, boy.
Have an awesome day. Peace in, and come on, man. Give Vegeta the win, please. Don't do him dirty. Vegeta, if you lose this, I don't even know anymore. It's going to be hard to be a Vegeta fan after this. Like, come on. Not again.